Welcome to the Midday News. The news is live from our studios here at Kokomlemle is on Joy 99.7 FM here in Accra. In Kumasi, we're live on Love 99.5 FM and affiliates across the 16 regions of Ghana, including ATL FM in Cape Coast, Radio Justice in Tamale and Radio Max in Takrady. You can also download the My Joy Online app from Play Store and App Store to listen live around the world. We're also live on Facebook, and then you can also listen around the world. In this edition, Accra-bound tipper truck crashes into toll booth at Tema end of the Accra-Tema motorway, leaving 2 injured and at least 5 others with various degrees of injury.
One of the critical injuries is someone who may lose 3 limbs, that is 2 legs and 1 hand.
We'll take you live to the Tema General Hospital where doctors are racing against time to save those in critical condition. Police in Agogo in the Ashanti region arrest 6 persons for inserting a stick into anus of a teenager.
Both hands were tied behind him. His trousers was removed halfway, and the old man also took the stick and he started pushing it. In fact, he pushed it up to a certain extent and I couldn't watch again.
Let the truth stand. A clarion call from the Dagoma chief to the 3-member committee investigating the Ejura disturbances as he recounts the last days of his grandson, Murtala Mohammed, who died from gunshot wounds.
Careful not to disgrace the president, and don't disgrace yourself as well. Don't disgrace the country.
Meanwhile, a brother of one of the deceased is alleging he witnessed a military officer firing into the protesters.
Lord, I then saw one of the military men having knelt down and pointed his gun, and he shot again. Lord, he got up and shot again. And shot again.
I'll take you live to the Ejura 3-member committee as Mohammed Ibrahim's wife testifies before the committee. In sports,
Hearts of Oak boss Samuel Boadu targets more success with the club after their league title triumph.
And much later, a campaign against cyberbullying.
Voice of the voiceless, social media and so you're reckless. Your generation way are we the heartless. To break people down with our words, what's the essence? It's called a death sentence. Why do you serve me that?
We'll hear from rapper Mirado, who is out with Death Sentence, a song seeking to raise awareness about cyberbullying. That and more on the Midday News with me, Emefa Apao. Please stay. Thanks for your company. This is your home of bold, credible and fearless journalism. This afternoon, a tipper truck heading for Accra on the Accra-Tema motorway has crashed into a toll booth at the Tema end of the stretch, leaving at least 7 persons injured. They include 2 persons who doctors say are in critical condition. They are currently receiving treatment at the Tema General Hospital. My colleague, Kwesi Parker-Wilson, is at the scene of the incident. He joins me on the line with more. Parker, let's start with the victims. What's their state now?
Well, so MFR, earlier we spoke to the director of the Tema Regional Hospital who told us that 2 individuals are in critical condition. But just about 5 minutes ago, we received information from some of the nurses taking care of them that 1 person has been confirmed dead. His name has been given as Mr. Isaac Kojo Okomsen. We are told that he was a cleaner at the time when he was cleaning parts of the road, and then the truck came to hit him and drove over him. We are told that at the time he lost 2 of his legs and also 1 hand. So this is the current situation. The other 5 are also fairly stable. They are going through some scan at the moment.
Some of them have been brought here. We know about 7 are here, 5 males and 2 females. Out of the 7, 2 are critically ill. The other 5 are stable. One of the females is a pregnant woman. She is stable, up and about, walking around. However, we are assessing all of them. One of the critical injuries is someone who may lose 3 limbs. That is 2 legs and 1 hand. The surgeons are struggling to save his life at the accident center. So all these people are being assessed. So that is the information I have at the moment.
What's the chance of survival, sir, for the one who is currently in critical condition?
Well, I'll say 50-50. We are doing our best to save the individual. As I said, he may lose 3 limbs because the lower limbs are more or less crushed, including one upper limb. But our surgeons are all struggling to ensure that we save their lives.
And finally, for me, the others, what is the nature of the injury? The other 5 was...
some of them are traumatized. Some of them have some abrasions and need minor injuries. Some of them are in shock. One is sitting in the wheelchair. They are all being assessed now, so that is the information I have at the moment. However, the chances of survival of 5 is very good. 2 of them are in critical condition. That is the 2 males.
So 7 were brought to your facility.
Exactly.
That's Dr. Richard Anthony, Health Director of the Tema Regional Hospital. Paka is still with me. Paka, let's talk about the extent of destruction of this toll booth and what exactly the situation is.
Before that, shortly, family of the deceased just arrived here at the hospital, and then most of them are wailing, and it's a very sad situation here. I have his uncle who says he'll be speaking to me shortly, so we'll give our listeners that update shortly. But to the toll booth, MFR, in fact, at the time I was living there, the level of devastation, in fact, the truck actually crashed and collapsed the toll booth. You could only see the debris, but of course, blast stains all over the place. The metal, the metal wedge that has been put there, all have been destroyed. So that is the situation at the time I was leaving the toll booth.
Well, the police have been speaking about this incident also. What do they have to say?
Well, so the police tells me that they are now investigating the issue to really ascertain what may have led to this accident, even though some eyewitnesses are claiming that the driver was dozing. Others say he failed to brake and all of that. So the police says that we should wait on to the information. They are going to investigate and establish the reason for this accident.
That's my colleague, Kwesi Epaka Wilson, there at the scene of the incident. Tipper truck heading for Accra on the Accra-Tema motorway crashing into a toll booth, and we're told that 7 persons were taken to the hospital. As he reported, 1 person has since died. Now, 6 people have been arrested for inserting a stake into the anus of a teenage boy at Agogo in the Asante Achim North District of the Ashanti region. The victim, name withheld for obvious reasons, is alleged to have stolen from an agrochemical shop owned by one of the suspects in Agogo Market. Konongo Divisional Police Commander Chief Superintendent Shaibu Abubakar Sadiq Osei, who described the incident admitted out to the teenager as barbaric, says police are on manhunt for more suspects. Ohiming Terrier of our security desk has more in the following report.
The 16-year-old boy struggled in pain on the hospital bed at the emergency ward at the Agogo Presbyterian Hospital. The victim is heard crying for help in a video recording. His attackers tied his hands at the back, stood on his neck, whilst pressing him onto the ground with his face down. Behind him are men who cheered another one on to thrash a stick into the anus of the poor boy in front of a shop at Agogo Market at about 2:30 a.m. The Agogo police have arrested 6 men, including the owner of the shop where the boy allegedly broke into. The victim was found in an uncompleted building a day after the incident and sent to the hospital. Chief Superintendent Shaibu Abubakar Sadiq Osei is the Konongo Divisional Commander.
Police had information that was on the 9th of July 2021. This guy was tied. Both hands were tied behind him and was put on the ground with the face facing on the ground. So his pants or his trousers was removed halfway. And then I overheard the guys around, those who have held him, telling the elderly man that it means insert it. And the old man also took the stick, whether it is a cane or what type of stick, and he started pushing it. In fact, he pushed it up to a certain extent, and I couldn't watch again. I have to stop watching.
Whilst condemning the act, Chief Superintendent Sadiq Hussein commended the public for the support leading to the arrest of the suspects. Doctors at the Agro Presbyterian Hospital say the victim is in stable condition but in pains. Medical Superintendent Dr. William Nana Ahin Thompson says further checks will be carried out to ascertain the extent of damage caused to the internal organs.
For now, he's stable, except that he has fever. So we are giving him antibiotics. But tomorrow, he will be sent to theater and under anesthesia. You will see if part of the bowel, the rectum or this have been perforated. The pain is so much that he will not allow you even examine the anus.
From Agogo, Ohiminteria reporting.
Well, we'll be hearing from Ohiming Terrier once again. He's monitoring the Ejura killing probe. Currently, before the committee, his wife of Kaka has been testifying before the committee. Amongst others, she's been saying that she suspects that the husband was killed because of his activism. I'll take you live now to the committee to hear her testimony.
To the threatening on his life, that's the question. So if you can translate it well for us.
She said that it started during the MPP primary.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Now, can we also find out from her, whether she has any knowledge about the family requesting for police protection for the barrier?
Why Kinsani, look at the solution. Why Danjanai, she soon Bukachi police says do Gurinna. No, my lord.
Okay. Now, when I said she can give it to the police, on the other hand, if she's not comfortable with that, she can give the names privately to the committee and it will be given to the police.
Why touch him? Kaman Masa, Kisuna, Kiba police say, in Kaman Kinsan, Kumbaki, Kumabai, Amberna, and King Yakizuki. Mama itasuna azazana iso to the police and swing aikin.
Suna na police mani na tungwala musu suna.
Lord, I've already informed the police. And they are aware of the name, their names.
Okay, so the panel members would also ask us some questions.
Accept our condolences for the loss of your husband. Are your children attending school? Your girls, do they attend school?
We are attending school.
School.
Yes, my lord.
What classes? What stage are they? Starting from the most senior to the last one. Can you tell us?
When the first is the case, Uma Akam Babanan.
Babanantana SS1.
SS1. Well, the first one is SS1.
Maybe not Matana JSS3.
The second one is in GHS3.
Third one, Matana P6.
Third one is in class 6.
Fourth, Matana P3.
The fourth one in class 3.
But the father was school.
As for the last one, she has not yet started school.
Very well. You see, I must commend you for your intelligence. Yes, because it takes an intelligent wife to know the activities and whatever goes on in the life of her husband.
Look, I've been the meeting kiki the same actually.
You were not present when your husband went to that particular base. But you have been able to narrate exactly the conversation, the language, and whatever took place on that day to the committee. We are grateful.
Why Munamiki Budias will say, and the meeting KJB is in Shida Samarin and Kokosman Jaya Chibakure. A man, there's a year, Kiki Kurumuna took up in the Yafan. Kiko Karisu say.
Did your husband at any point tell you the person who wanted to kill him? You said that he was threatened. Did he tell you?
Why mijinki ya fari miki wanda shi yake so ya kashe shi.
Gaskiya bai ce min ga wanda yake so ya kashe shi ba, amma ya nuna min wanda ke tin shi wani kaman abin da yake nan bai bari ba sun nuna mai abin da ya fari miki.
He didn't specifically tell me that this person wants to kill me, but he told me those who warned him to stop posting issues on Facebook, else they will harm him or they will do something against him.
So, your husband never told you that somebody wanted to kill him?
Amma bai gaya miki kaman wa ya ce ya kashe ni ba.
Ce mai gwada min wani ya ce ya kashe ni, amma dai an nuna mai dai kullum in ya fita duk wanda ya mai wannan magana duka ya zo ya fadi min.
Lord, yes, he didn't tell me specific person, but he told me if they threatened to teach him lessons, he would tell me that this person threatened to teach me lessons.
What was the relationship between your husband and the mother?
Wai tsakanin ki da uwan kaka ya yake?
Tsakanin mu yana da kyau, ba damuwa.
No, there's good relationship between us.
And the relationship between your husband and his brother, his elder brother?
Wai tsakanin kaka da yayan shi kuma fa?
Da masala.
No, there is no problem between them.
Thank you. I will allow my other colleagues to also ask questions.
Madam, I can't imagine what you are going through. Please have my condolences as well. You've narrated to us all the things that happened prior to this unfortunate incident. After the incident, after your husband's death, have you heard any stories from perhaps neighbors or others about what they think happened? And how do you feel about those stories? Or
wai bayan mijinki ya rasu an bisa shi, kin ji wasu maganganu a cikin gidan shi ko kuwa yan uwayen da kuke kusa game da rasuwan shi ko mutuwan shi? Ba ki ji komi ba? No, my Lord, I have not heard anything.
Madam, the chairman has congratulated you on your bravery and intelligence. And I want to commend you on it also.
Wai shi kuma ina miki godiya da kokarinki, da kin kokari sosai.
Continue with this stand and Allah will help you to look after the kids.
Wai ki ci gaba haka nan. Allah ya miki albarka kin ji.
If you lower yourself and you are continuing to cry and cry and cry and angry with somebody, the children will suffer. So continue with that bravery and the intelligence.
Wai ki ci gaba da shi aka nan. Idan zaki mai da kanki karama ko ko wani abu zaki kuka kina ta yaran nan za su wahala.
I saw your kids when we came to Ijra and I was touched.
Wai da sun ka zo Ijra ya gan yaran ki.
You know, I spoke to them.
Wai yayi magana da su.
They are equally intelligent like you.
Su kuma suna da kokolwa kaman kino.
I like the smile. Anyway, you were asked whether after the death of your husband, you had heard some rumors about what must have happened. That particular day, can you tell us what happened? Where were you? And how did you hear about his death?
Wai wanda mijinki ya rasu, shi ina kike, yaya kika ji game da mutuwan shi ya faru?
Gaskiya da mijina ya mutu, ni ina da aka ya faru, ni ina daki.
Ne faru kina daki.
Ina daki ina kwana.
But at the time of his death, I was asleep in my bedroom.
She was with him in the bedroom.
I was asleep.
Ah, okay. She was asleep.
Yes.
So how did she hear about that?
So ya ikaji.
Abin da na ji shine ina kwana. Shi aka tayen ni kwana. Wata sister daki mu ta tayen ni kwana.
Lord, a neighbor woke me up from the sleep in the house. A neighbor woke me up. Now.
Sai ta ce mi won fito, sai na fito.
That I should come out.
Sai na fito na tambaye ta lafiya.
I asked her why.
Sai ta ce min kamar wata ji karan motar miji na shigowa cikin gida. Amma bayan shigowa kuma ta ji kamar ana bugun abu.
Well, she told me that she heard the sound of my husband's motorbike entering. And after hearing the sound of the motorbike, she also heard a noise of something hitting.
Shi na ce mata da ta fito dakin da ta kayan nan. Shi na tambaye ta kamar me ta gani wurin, shi ta ce min wai ta bata ga komi ba.
So after she had woke me up and I came out and asked her, she told me this. So I asked her, so what did she see? And she told me that she didn't see anything.
Okay, it's enough. I think because the rest will be for the police to investigate that criminal aspect. So I don't want to go on that tangent anymore. But after that, the linkage between her husband's death and the rioting, what does he have to say about it? The linkage.
Wai me kike da shi zaki fadi muna game da rasuwan mijinki da hayaniyan da ya tashi daga baya?
Hayaniyan da ya tashi da gaskiya saboda rasuwan miji nan ne samarin suka ce ba su yadda a kashe mutum da ke fadin gaskiya saboda gaskiyan shi aka kashe shi nan.
But the reason why the youth were agitated were that they said they would not allow somebody who has stand in for justice to be killed like that. So that was why they were agitated.
Thank you very much. What do you want the committee to do in this respect? For you, and what do we want? Do you want us to rise so that it doesn't happen again?
Shi zama munga me kike so committee ga so su yi yanda abin da ya faru nan bai abukuwa kuma ko abin da yake so su yi miki.
Abin da nake so ne ba su yi min su yi binciken nan da kyau su gano.
All that I'm seeking is that you conduct your investigations well.
Su gano wanda ya kashe mijina abin da nake so su yi bincike kai kenan.
Find out the one who caused my husband's death.
Sannan da wanda ta yi ma yayan mijina karya cewa shi ya kashe shi ita ma a nemo ta ta ga da yanda aka yi ta ga mijina shi ya kashe shi.
And then the one who testified against my husband's brother that he might have killed my husband, she should be called to
Thank you. Yes, you said this neighbor who came to wake you up that night, when you asked her, she told you she did not see anything. Is she the one you are referring to as the person who said it was your husband's brother who killed him?
Why one the Tazu Sajamiki Tazu Tataraki Kwana, Yachameta, Mamita, Tachi Bataganku. Itano Kiguramakman, Akira Tatazun.
Ita.
Yes, my lord.
Do you live in the same house with that person?
Kiratokuna Gidaguda. Yes, we live in the same house.
And she came to wake you up and told you your husband is dead.
She tazo ta tare ki kwana ta gura miki kaman mijinki ya mutu.
Ita wanda ta tayar ni kwanan ita ta kuma koma ta ce yayin mijina ya kashe mijina.
Yes, my lord, she came and woke me up and later said that it was my husband's brother who killed him.
At the time she told you she did not see anything, do you think she was telling the truth?
Don't she?
She did not see anything.
lokacin da ta gaya miki kaman bata gan komi ban nan kin yadda kaman gaskiya ta gaya miki wannan lokaci kaman bata gan komi ba
gaskiya ta gaya min bata ga komi ba domin mu da ita muka ga abin da ke wurin.
Yes, my Lord, she didn't see anything because all of us went to the scene and saw what happened.
You were asleep. She came to wake you up, meaning that she at that time was not asleep. So, if she did not know that your husband has been killed, how could she have come to wake you up that your husband has been killed?
Wai kikin yi kwana, she ita ta zo ta tada ki kwana. Doke shi kaman lokacin da yake yi kwanan nan ita ba ta yi kwana ba. She ta zo ta gaya miki kaman haka ya faru. Don shi me yasa ke ce ba ta gan komi ba?
Ita ta ce min bata ga komi ba domin da na fito na tambaye ta me ta gani sai ta ce bata ga komi ba amma ta ji karan motar miji na shigowa bayan shi tana jin duka ni kuma miji na mutum ne da in ya shigo gida in akwai akuyoyi yana korin su fita sai kulle kofan gidan sai sa tana duban akuyoyin ne yake bugu sai ta ga kaman bugun na yafi karfin akuyoyi sai sa za ta tashi ta fito ta gani me yake faruwa.
But she told me that she didn't see anything. But she said she heard the sound of my husband entering the house. And whenever my husband comes to the house and there are goats in the house, he drives them away. So when she was hearing the sound of beating, she felt that it was my husband who was beating the goats to go out. And it was later that she realized that it wasn't goats, and she came out.
We thank you very much, Madam. We've taken note of everything that you have said, and especially the children. We will make the appropriate recommendations for the authorities to consider any assistance that will be offered to you in the upbringing of your children. Thank you. We are very grateful. Allah take you safely back to Ejira.
Wai muna miki godiya sosai su kuma sun duba so duka abin da ya kamancin su gaya mu manya so game da taimakon da za a yi miki duban yaran nan so manya kuma su duba ciki don shi Allah kai ki gida lafiya.
Ni ma na gode Allah su ma ya ba su lafiya ya ba su ikon yin aikin da aka sa su yi.
I'm also grateful and I'm praying that may Allah help you to eschew your mandate.
Thank you.
You heard there the wife of Muhammad Ibrahim, also known as Kaka, testifying before the three-member committee. Well, amongst others, has been raising concerns about the death of the husband, and then also allegations that her suspicion that the husband could have been killed because of his activism. But earlier also, the chief, the Dagomba chief, also has been testifying before the committee. Mutala, grandson of the chief, Mutala Mohammed, was among the two who died from gunshot wounds after a standoff between the protesting youth and security agencies deployed to maintain order. Well, the linguist to the Dagomba chief, Abdul Wahab Al-Hassan, said his grandson told him he was buying food but later got to know he had been shot during the protest. He wants the committee to allow truth to reign.
And he told me that he got injured at the back and on his right rib. So Yamane kam pelga chinkimale, this awalan konya verne, can live one young ma, Casinia Ujele go one yanga, no supper, can end up thinking mapulu. Well, at that time he was indeed dead, so I opened the glove to ascertain the truth. And indeed, he was injured at the rib, right rib, and then at the back. I then inquired from the doctor that indeed my grandson is dead. So can we take him home, or what should we do?
That's the linguist of the Dagomba chief, appearing before the committee earlier. Well, there's another person appearing before the committee, but we have live pictures on the Joy News channel, also on our social media platforms. But Pizza Sibidi has just returned from the weekend. What do we have in showbiz?
And in showbiz, MFA, the phenomenon of cyberbullying remains a concern for many. Now, rapper Amarado believes it has the potential to kill the dream of people, including musicians. There's more in his song, Death Sentence.
Focus elevation and depression. Nana Doni pages to his 7, Mahama to his 7, and so what question praises near to a did you mommy 11 and the dusty Yawunian Kawompe. Shatawale Yawo Branka Wompe. Stone boy or brap and yanka wompe. Sakudi if you were good shemami busanka wompe. Consider the pain of one insult from just one friend of yours.
So that's rapper
cyberbullying,
Amarado.
not good at all.
Yeah,
not
stop
good.
cyberbullying
Stop,
us. We don't like it.
Stop. We don't like that.
Thank you.
Very much, Manfit. So there's more news when you log on to myjoyonline.com. Stories making the headline: refund any salary paid to spouses of President and Veep. That's the TUC. And my parents forced me to the school against my will. Student who allegedly caused Accra Academy fire confesses. Court strikes out 41 of 64-page defense filed by Lighthouse Chapel against a former bishop, and COVID-19. Ghana's death toll rises to 799. That and more on myjoyonline.com. We have Living Word with Pastor Mensel Tabel. It is raining. We have episode 1. I am MF Apple. Thanks on behalf of the entire team.
My name is Ikuya Anderson. I'm from the Ghana Statistical Service.